I cannot believe people are making a stink about Women's Day, but maybe you just didn't know that it was legal for men to break their wives' bones not that long ago. So for the majority of the history in the US, if your husband beat you or took every dollar you made or assaulted you, that was his legal right. If you were married, you gave permanent consent. Despite all that, if you didn't get married, it was 10 times worse. You couldn't own property, you couldn't take out a loan, but at least you could work. Except that jobs for women paid just enough to either eat or get a bed for the night, but not both, which meant that a lot of unmarried women got pushed into prostitution, and once they were in, their life expectancy dropped to 5 years because they were being trafficked and controlled by landlords who crushed them with debt. And then came the factories, and at first this seemed like a whole new option for women. But it turned out that the reason factories were hiring women was because they could pay them 50% less and treat them as disposable. They had to buy their own supplies, bathroom breaks were docked from their pay, if you got pregnant you were fired on the spot, and on top of that a lot of these factories didn't pay real money. They paid something called company scripts, which could only be redeemed at factory stores or for factory housing. But then it gets worse because then we got the radium girls. Women specifically were hired to paint these glow-in-the-dark watch dials with radium paint. It paid 3 times more than a regular factory job, and that's because the company knew what was coming. To get these precise brush dips, they were told to lip dip, meaning putting the radium covered brushes in their mouths and pull through the lips. The radium soaked into their bones. First, their teeth fell out, their jaws broke off, their legs snapped when they walked. And the company knew, and their solution was to accuse the sick women of having syphilis and bring in more women. 5 women sued. One of them testified from her deathbed, and they won. Their case changed a lot of labor laws in the US, but a lot of women had to die. It wasn't until 1974 that women could open a bank account without a man's permission, and until 1993, marital assault was still legal in some US states. Women fought to work, women fought to own their money, and this is just a very small piece, but if you don't understand why Women's Day exists, I hope this helps just a little bit.